New Zealand will be in action against Afghanistan. Now, both these two teams have beaten the world champions England. New Zealand unbeaten so far, Afghanistan on a high as well. They play in Chennai, where of course spin will come into play. Which is the better spin attack, Simon, for you? Is New Zealand going to be wary of this Afghanistan spin attack?
They're always wary of the Afghanistan spin attack. I mean, Afghanistan have got a better spin attack because they've got three of them playing in the game. New Zealand only play one, and then they use Mitchell as their Phillips as their part-timer. So it's not something that they won't have thought about. They generally play them well. I mean, one of the issues is Kane Williamson plays spin very well. He's obviously not going to be there. Do Afghanistan change anything? I don't think so. What they did, why would you change what happened against England? Ikram Ali Keel came into the side, did a brilliant job, wicket kept, got runs. They replaced Najibullah Zadran with him. I don't see anything else changing. Naveen ul Haq and Fazil Haq Faruqi. The one thing you thought about with Afghanistan was, could they get enough runs, and how do their seamers cope? Well, they've both been brilliant. They've both been really, really good. They swing the ball up front. You know, Fazil Haq Faruqi's got decent pace. Naveen has got those good changes. So they are actually bowling well. And that's the key to Afghanistan. Getting enough runs, but not just relying on that spin attack. Actually, the seamers doing some work as well. And that was what worked really well, I think, against England.
Well, they bowled really well with the new ball. Under lights, Mujib bowled really well, opening the innings. But would you say, let's not change winning combination?
Not at all. And Ikram, I was just looking at his record. And, just before this, till 2019, he was 2017 under-19 ACC tournament, scores a century in the finals. And Afghanistan, that's the first major title that they win. They are the under-19 title. After that, till 2019, he was a regular. Gets dropped, comes back only in 2023 in the ODI side. But he is that kind of player. When he gets going, he can really... So he's made a real change to that batting order. And I think the other thing is, even if you look at the India match, they put on, 280 odd? So in Dharamshala, they were 160, 170, which is what we always said. They're not very good at planning innings. Somewhere, something has changed. There is a bit of advice. It doesn't hurt that Ajay Jadeja is there in their years. Probably talking to them a little bit, and he'd be very smart about it. Not making them change their game plans, but talking to them about saying, how long can you bat? How do you play it over? So 280, even when they made that runs against India, you said, that's not what Afghanistan normally do. Normally, they get out for 190 trying to score 400. And this is a different Afghan side. Then they got it right the next match as well. So this is an Afghan side that thinks they can bat. The only other thing I'll say is that you're saying that Chennai spin, not necessarily. I mean, it's one match, it really helped seamers. The other match looked a bit of more of a spinning surface. So this is not a surface that you're going to look at and decide until we know what pitch they're going to play on.
Kane Williamson, with some trouble with his thumb, will be out of action for 2 or 3 games, I've been told. There is, of course, Will Young. If we can pull up the New Zealand squad graphic, Simon can tell us how they go about figuring that change. Will Young comes back in?
Yeah, I think Will Young just slides back in for Williamson. They might move Rachin Ravindra back to 3. Will Young has been their sort of preferred opener leading into the tournament. It was only that innings from Ravindra that probably saw the move come. So Will Young back to the top with Conway. So left-right combination there, and then Ravindra at 3. And they'll keep everything else pretty much the same. Mitchell at 4, who's been brilliant in the last 18 months to 2 years. The skipper Latham at 5, and then Phillips at 6, with Santner coming in at 7. I don't think this is going to be very much like the first pitch. I think it'll be more like the second one. The only reason that the first pitch was like it was is because India were playing there, and they wanted it to turn against Australia. So that was the reason that surface was like that. They can grow grass in Chennai, I can tell you, because there was a bit of grass on the surface last time. And I think it'll be the same tomorrow. It's a fresh pitch. It's pitch number 6 tomorrow. So that is the one, I believe, in between India and the New Zealand game the other day against Bangladesh. So I think it's the one right in between those two.
Any updates on Saudi?
He's fit. He's fit and raring to go. I think the catching's the only little issue, but he can wear the brace while he's fielding. He just can't wear it while he's bowling. He's starting to feel the ball a lot better. He lost feeling in the end of his thumb. So in the nets for the first couple of days, he just couldn't feel the ball coming off the end of the thumb, which was a little bit of a worry for him, but he's got a lot more feeling back now. To me, he's not in the first 11 anyway. He replaces Matt Henry if Matt Henry gets injured.
Yep.
And if conditions are not conducive to quick bowling, he might get a game ahead of Lockie Ferguson, just because he's got a few more change-ups and things. But they prefer Lockie because he's got pace. And on that surface tomorrow, I'll be doing the pitch report, so I hope I've got it right already.
Simon, not as a broadcaster who's expected to be neutral, but as a Kiwi, I know your heart bleeds for New Zealand. Is it going to be win number 4?
Look, New Zealand will think it is, providing it's a truish surface. They should be better than Afghanistan. But again, if Afghanistan, as Joy said, if they put 280, 290, 300 on the board, it becomes difficult because their spinners are brilliant. They are good enough. So that's the key. What do New Zealand do? Do they want to bowl first? Do they want to bat first? If they give Afghanistan an opportunity to bat first and they put a good score on the board, there's every chance they could roll New Zealand over as well.
Afghanistan enjoyed a lot of support at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. And so if you're in Chennai watching this show, this preview, make sure you are at the stadium cheering these two teams on. It could be quite a game. But before we wrap up, gentlemen, players to watch out for.
For me, definitely, Rachin Ravindra. I just like the way he plays. He's going to go back up the top of the order again. I think he's interesting. And I think if you look at the other side, crucial for them, I think the way Mujib bowled up front for them was really good. If he keeps up that form and he has a total to bowl for, that's the important thing. They have a total because, look, I still believe that's their best, no matter what the circumstances are. Afghanistan, inexperienced batting side, best bet is to go there and make the runs. Don't think of targets or anything. Just put runs on the board and try and restrict the team.
2 players for you?
Cricbuzz sets the tone for them with the bat. So if he gets off to a flyer, he will, he just gives them that belief. And he's the guy that can allow them to play a little quieter through the middle because he gets them off to a great start. So if he does that, he can take the game very deep and take it away from the bowling side. For New Zealand, they will, I think, they'll go hard with Lockie Ferguson. They'll try and get, a lot of short balls. I think they bowled something like 46% short balls against Bangladesh.
Okay.
And a lot of them are bowled by Lockie Ferguson at pace. So if there's any pace and bounce in the pitch, I expect Ferguson to be a key for New Zealand.